Ladies and gentlemen, it is 3:46. I am officially late, but I'm late for good reasons. Wait until you see what I built. I am a nerd, everybody, in case you didn't know. I am a nerd. Thank you all for being here. I really appreciate it on this July 3rd. Heading into a 3-day weekend. But don't worry, I'll be doing a special stream sometime tomorrow morning, even though the market's closed. We will do something tomorrow morning. Let's take a look at where everything is. Let's take a little look. All right. Oil 68.47. Rolling over. Let's go. The indexes. The S&P is down 23. The NASDAQ down 308. The Dow Jones is up 456. You know, that's a special number, 456. Can anybody guess why 456 is a special number? Yes, today is July 2nd. Did I say tomorrow's July 4th? That's not what I meant. I meant the market is closed tomorrow, heading in to the July 4th weekend. Anybody, 456. 456. No. 456. If you're playing CeeLo, you automatically win. Nobody else gets to roll. That's why. If you're shooting CeeLo, 456, you walk away with the money. All right. Heat map. Technology bleeding out 3.2%. What is CeeLo? CeeLo is a dice game with 3 dice. Oh my God. All right. I'll explain CeeLo later. Somebody remind me to explain CeeLo later. Anyway. Technology is down 3.2%, ladies and gentlemen. Everything else except for consumer discretionary is doing all right. Apple 307. We got Hood in the green at 112. We got Palantir 129. Realty Income, I don't want to see that. Not on a day like today. SpaceX 161, Chevron 169, big old scary Mo 72.72. After the market closes out, I will show everybody what I built and used a ridiculous amount of tokens building it. Christopher Patel has already seen screenshots, and it's way different from what I sent him. Salesforce trying to close out above 165 for the week. Microsoft, big old Mr. Softy, let's go. 390. 390. Energy Transfer 1934. Enbridge 53.95. Take Two going up a little bit. Exxon going up a little bit. Amazon. For those of you asking what happened to Amit, nothing happened to Amit. He is on vacation. He is currently hanging out on the beaches of Bali. He will be back on Tuesday. He's enjoying life. So, with that being said, ServiceNow 105.82. We all miss Amit. There is no question about that. Rocket Lab 100. We got Zeta hanging out above 20, which I like. NVIDIA 194. SoFi came back a little bit. We're over 18. I'll take it. Oracle 139. I do not like that. Reddit 192. I can't believe it. That's crazy. Qualcomm 175. Cisco 112. TKO 194. CoreWeave 8177. Meta fell a lot, 583. No bueno. The SMH is 590. AMD 514. Micron under 1,000. We're going to talk about that one. We are going to talk about that one. Nebius falling again. ARM 314. Tesla, man, Jake Rizzo. Tesla granny. I got to tell you something. Tesla's numbers were so good with deliveries. This is just because Tesla's overvalued. There was nothing wrong with the delivery number today. IREN deserves to get clobbered. After what they pulled with their CEOs, they deserve to get clobbered. Marvell 241 and SanDisk down a ton, bleeding out 1731. Craziness. He was in Singapore, and I believe he went to Bali for a couple of days. Yeah, Meta's down pretty crazy. I mean, I don't hate this going into the holiday weekend. I do not hate this. I'm actually thinking about picking up before the bell sounds a little bit more Oracle. Because I think that, you know what, I'm going to do it. Screw it. Do not, oh, you know what? Before I do it, let's get this out of the way. Do not follow me on any trades. I am not a financial advisor. I am not your financial advisor. Please do your own due diligence. Make your own decisions. And remember this for entertainment and educational purposes only. And with that being said, Oracle is under 140. So you know what? We're going to take a run at it. So we're going to get after it. All right. All right. Let's get Hood up. Let's look at the action. Man, MSTR really getting after it today, ladies and gentlemen. 161. 161. All right. Oracle. Back up a little bit. We're going to buy some more. Okay. I bought more Oracle, and I think I'm good for today now. There's other things I want to buy, but you know what? I'm going to wait till Monday. May not be the smartest move, but I'm just unsure if we bleed out into next week or not. I don't know. Here's what I'm doing. I bought some Oracle today, and I bought for my dividend harvesting portfolio more Starwood and more MLPI from Neos Group. I think energy infrastructure is greatly underappreciated. And the dividends / distributions from MLPI is incredible. I don't understand what this is. I don't understand what that means. I don't get it. I'm not hating on Iran. All I'm saying is that I did not like that the RSUs were time, not performance. That's what I'm saying. I didn't like that they are diluting the company by 5%, and all the CEOs have to do is stay there until 2032. That's all I'm saying. I'm not happy about it. I'm also not a shareholder, so I kind of don't care. I don't know. Is what it is. SpaceX 161, Uber 74, Nike 44. Oh boy. What is this? What is this? What did this guy just do? Good. Matt's showing off behind the scenes, everybody. Matty is showing off behind the scenes. Matty is sending me screenshots of him making money. Hood 112. Hood 112. Where's Meta at on this? I know Meta's down. It's no good. No good. All right, my shares I'm no longer going to be a shareholder in Reddit. My shares are 100% getting called away, and that's fine. Man, Meta's getting crushed. That's okay. I actually think CoreWeave is incredibly interesting here. Incredibly interesting. Look, tech is bleeding out. That's okay. Investing is a long-term game. It is not. I repeat, it is not a one-day game. So we're going to cut over. We got 2 minutes to go, ladies and gentlemen. We got 2 minutes to go.
For this bull market, this is going to be a bull market that's going to go as far as the AI theme takes it. And semis are the tip of the spear for that. So when you see new models come out, compute demand ramps up, semis get a bid. And that's what we saw. We saw a 3-month period where the SMH ETF that we're showing right now was up like 60% in the quarter. You need to take some of that off and cool that down a little bit. And it needs to spread back into the hyperscalers and see these hyperscalers come through and have people believe like, okay, they know what they're doing. There's going to be a return on all this spending. And so to get that mix happening right now, I think is healthy. And so there will be a give and take, but when we zoom out, I expect this to be the recipe that leads the market higher.
So you think earnings season drives people back into the hyperscalers?
Yeah, I mean, I think that they've been, when you zoom out, you can do the math and you realize there is an ROI coming on this money they're spending. And to me, yes, you're going to see that, and there's going to be some great earnings seasons coming out. I think that ultimately investors are going to see what management sees, which is that there is an opportunity in front of these guys. Of course, it's scary. We talk about spending $1 trillion every year and doing this generational, whatever you want to call it, industrial revolution. Yeah, that's scary. But when you look at the projects and you look at what's happening in the technology, there are returns. And so you have to build confidence, and that's where you're going to get your conviction. So,
all right, ladies and gentlemen, the market is closed for the July 4th weekend. And we are good. We are good. We are closing it out. Closing it out, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Roll call. Finishing it out. MSTR back over 100. All you crypto lovers out there, this is good news. Netflix. After dark was the idea that Netflix needed. I don't know if they did it or not, but you know what? Whatever's going on, we'll take it. Apple, 308. 308. Apple shareholders are not shook of a little memory increase. Ethereum, almost back at 1,700. Hoodie O Hood Hood 112.51. Coca-Cola, America's favorite cola. I don't actually know if that's true, but it's my favorite cola. Most American company I own. What's more American, Coca-Cola or Ford? I own both of them. Both great American companies. You know what? I'm going to have to do another great American company top 10 list. VC Properties, 27. Realty Income, 63.78. Costco, 9.51, up 27 bucks today. Uber, Nancy Pelosi's newest edition. Uber. Nike's up. Milken, congratulations. We got SpaceX, 160. BMNR, 1439. Lululemon, 118. Mr. Softy. I could not find an ice cream truck, so I could not get a soft serve ice cream. But Mr. Softy, aka Microsoft, 390. How many positions do I actually have? If you include bullshit positions, probably like 200. Verizon, 4261. Energy Transfer, 1913. We got Venture Global, 1113. Trump will be 5 o'clock on. Joe Kernan is going to interview him. We will watch it live together at 5 o'clock. Unless something changed. Let's see. Bitcoin, 61,000. We're getting back at it. Rubrik, 82.45. Service, Meow, 106. CrowdStrike, 193. Next, 758. Oil, under 69. We'll take it. We will take it. Alphabet, 359. Zeta, $20.68. I stand by what I said. Zeta is, in my opinion, going to be the engine of my portfolio in the stock draft. SoFi, 1822. NVIDIA, 195. Reddit, 194. My shares just got called away. Oracle, 140. QXO down to 1620. Broadcom, 360. Qualcomm, 176.66. I'm actually in the middle of writing an article on Qualcomm. I think Qualcomm's the next semi that's really going to break out. Wendigal, 8059 or 859. Apologize. TKO Group, 194. Cisco, 112. CoreWeave, 82. AMD, Lena's favorite company, 517. Meta lost 600 today. Nebius, 217. Micron lost 1,000. Tesla lost 400. Marvell lost 250. Iren lost 40. And SanDisk lost 1,800. All right. So we're going to get into several things right now. I guess the first thing, we'll look at the stock draft. We'll look at the we may have a surprise in a few minutes. So I'm going to show you some updates that I made, and then I'm going to show you a new module that I made, and then we're going to get into the news. So I have no idea who's in first or who's on first. If you know that skit, the standings, Matt Money reclaims first place, and I added our profiles on X and YouTube and personal websites. Chris is in last place, Jason in fifth, the mid in fourth, I'm in third, Tanner's in second. If you're on the Stock Combine site, you can click to any of our socials. When you go in, you can click to one of our socials, and you can find all of our stuff there. In addition, by request of Tanner, we added dates on the season race. We also made it where we can make it full screen. And it is all formatted first to last. As I said, I will make updates if they are warranted. And Jason, his Honeywell position is updated. Oh my God. Speak of the devil. I just said his name.
Dude, you just throw me straight on. Look,
You showed up.
boom, baby. Boom.
I
Did you
just
see that
said
close?
his name and he shows up.
Happy Friday, everybody. Happy freaking fracking Thursday.
Well, today's happy Thursday.
I'm in the relaxing gear, by the way. This is technically it's uniform. You can't see, there's a little logo. But
I like it. Jason,
hey,
on your profile.
we're gonna go from last to first. I don't want to hear about it right now.
No, well, I went last to third, so we'll say. So I put your YouTube channel, your X profile, and your company website.
Look at you.
So
That's
if we
hot.
click that, I don't know why it didn't update. Let's reshare it the correct way.
Did you also get me my Honeywell? Because
did.
honey, she is doing well. You did. Is that why I bumped up a spot?
Yeah, I gave you the aerospace one. I did everything with the splits and everything. I both of them trading as one ticker combined.
Oh, got it.
Yeah.
I see it now.
So we can click on your X profile. We can click on anything and all your stuff comes up. I did for everybody.
Look at that.
So anybody who goes to the site can get any of our socials.
It's a race to the bottom, everybody.
It's a race to the bottom.
Let's go.
All right. Now
Can I
I
tell you
nerded out
something?
today, Jason. I nerded out today.
Oh, I love this.
All right. You're not ready.
Was the chat freaking out today or not? I want to know.
No,
Who-
not
Who
really.
was excited?
I think a
I'm
lot of people were excited because who was 112?
Oh my god. Well, yeah, there was a lot of that. But man, I was looking around, I'm like, there's some really juicy bottom of the basement bargain deals. At least they look like it, from recent highs. And I'm like,
So
This
let
is
me show you what I
getting kinda
built, and then we'll
spicy.
go into the the three that I'm going to start buying aggressively. I built my own Truflation
ooh,
because I'm sick
I
of
like that.
everything. I built my own Truflation, and this thing is so damn legit. We got the heat, we got everything. But here's the crazy part. When we go into the methodology, I am collecting everything in the back, like everything. And if you look at all the APIs and everything I'm pulling freaking everything, Jason. Everything.
Steve for Fed president. Is that what they're saying?
Look at all this shit I'm pulling. CPI food at home. I'm pulling sugar. I'm pulling everything. Henry Hub
Make
spot.
sure you got lumber and lean hogs, the whole nine, dude.
Dude, all the AAA bonds. I'm
Yeah.
pulling fucking everything. Everything, man. And I even, if I put this out for public, okay,
Don't forget milk. Milk needs to be
Milk's
number
on
one
there.
on the list. Number one.
I even put how the BLS builds the official CPI.
They want to know how we see this, guys. Steve is like, he's a shellfish, like lobster shellfish. You're not seeing it. He's keeping it to himself.
This may go public. And how I built the FMC gauge, everything, how it computes. So Truflation is running at 1.8%. The way I'm calculating everything, I got it at 2.47%. We can click into anything here. So we click into shelter. It'll give us shelter owned. It'll give us the Zillow home value index, the 30-year fixed mortgage rate on the PMMS, CPI order, everything.
Nice.
Food at home, everything.
What about,
Got a little nerdy today.
can we get ultra nerd? ultra nerd and do like the Mag 7 commitment for capital expenditures towards AI. Throw
I
that
mean, I
in.
can tell you that right now. It's $2.1 trillion for just the big four.
What is that? You gotta do
Oracle,
Tesla.
Microsoft, Amazon, Alphabet.
Oracle doesn't even count. So Meta.
Oracle has the most RPO.
No, dude.
They do.
No, CapEx commit.
No, I get that, but for RPO, they have the most in the bag. So
I know, but we're
2.1
talking about
trillion.
inflation. I want to know inflation. I think
CapEx is 730 billion this year from the big four.
there you go.
So
Then we're gonna add Apple to that mix, and we're gonna add Tesla to that as well with XAI.
I can build that. So I am in the middle of working on getting a commercial license. I'm trying to figure out how much it's going to be. I built this myself, and I do want to put something out for everybody. So
You don't want a commercial license, bro.
We'll see. But yes,
Yeah.
I built my own Truflation calculator.
I love it, dude. I love it. Do you know?
So-
Are you learning? The trading, the active trading world yet? Are you in there?
No, I'm not. Now, I'm going to tell you, I've
Uh-oh.
done so much research on Qualcomm.
Oh,
Qualcomm is the company that I'm going forward with.
you're gonna take it. You're gonna take the risk.
Next week I start a position and I'm building it out. This is
I added today.
this is my, you know what? Forget profitability, forget everything. I just went through Investor Day again.
Yeah,
Everything that they said that they're doing,
I watched the entire stream.
it's going to be so crazy.
I didn't even watch Micron earnings. I didn't even care about Micron earnings. I was only watching Qualcomm Investor Day. But you know what we didn't do the other day, and I was going to ask you. So your valuation, like re-rate multiples. So first of all, guys, clearly the stock is down. It was a sell the news event. Qualcomm is almost like the boy who cried wolf in the semiconductor space. They've been talking about IoT forever, literally every quarter for I don't know how many years, not pulling through. There's a ton of execution risk. But when you model their forecasts of what they're going to do, because Steve, you modeled what the company would look like at a basic re-rate.
Dude, when their CFO comes out and says we're going to do $18 plus of EPS.
Oh, dude, I get it. Trust me. Why do you think I picked it? Like, I was one of those, like, I didn't care. Like, it's Marvell 2.0, and Marvell was extremely frustrating for a long time, let me tell you. But you know, they may not execute. There's a big risk coming earnings. Like the bigger issue is that, okay, let's say they go through all this rigmarole, have the most bullish investor day I've seen in a very long time, since Nvidia 4 or 5 years ago, and don't have anything material to show on earnings in a few weeks. That's gonna be like, all right, guys, the stock might take a huge dump. So I'm saving a little bit for that. Maybe we see 130s on that if it gets stupid, but
Maybe.
yeah, maybe. But this is not. I think you're in line now, like where I'm at. Like, this is not a 1 year. It's
No,
between
this is
now,
3 to 5 years.
yeah,
I mean,
it's between now and the end of the year that I'd like to be building the full position. And that's it.
yeah. So this is what I read in the transcript again that I really felt solidified it for me. So Cristiano, he called the last few years their submarine strategy, where they're quietly collecting assets before coming with the full platform. And now they built Dragonfly, and it's built around the thesis of agentic AI breaks the economics of traditional compute. A single agent query generates 50 to 100x the inference request of a single prompt. And Qualcomm is projecting annual token demand grows roughly 40x from 26 through 30.
Dude, so you're in the analyst community, right? Like the fundamental analysts. If you so everybody's targets or whatever, I don't think anybody changed their, what is it called? Buy, sell, hold, whatever. But across the board, everyone's targets went higher, yet they did it in a way where nobody had to change it from neutral to buy or from sell to neutral. It was just like, we're just going to raise the targets across the board. So I think at the very least, like the floor is raised slightly, which is fine. I do agree. Like, look at the deliveries today from Tesla, Rivian, whatever. And you put the whole web together. I do think that IoT has also bottomed, and that becomes the new edge. That probably not what they were thinking of initially, but becomes the launch pad, and they have a big install base. Yes, guys, Amit is alive. I talked to him today from Singapore. I got 2 words left back from him. I asked, when do you come back? And
He'll
said,
be back streaming
July
on
7th.
Tuesday.
July 7th, he said.
Yeah.
Is that Tuesday? That is Tuesday. With no relief in mind. So
Tuesday. Now, how do you feel about their high bandwidth compute?
So which part is that? Is that the AI 250s?
That is the re-architecture. So what I have in my notes is that
the way
they're
that
calling
they're
their new
doing
stuff
it,
the high bandwidth compute,
Yeah.
HPC, and
their chip, their data center chip, which is a whole nother line of business. So the Zoom is like their data center chip. You can see a monitor. Their data center chip is designed in a way that the chips stack on top of each other so that they're fused together, so that the memory is closer. Instead of having a chip next to each other, right? And you have to go further to get to the memory. It's like stack. So it's all the memory right there, which is supposed to help with the power issue in general. Let me fix this camera. It's bothering me. 1 second.
all right. So while Jason fixes that, one of their heads of architecture is saying is that Qualcomm is separating the AI accelerator from the main processor and stacking the compute die directly underneath the DRAM. And the data, the analogy that they're using is the highway's clear because nobody's driving anymore.
Bingo.
And you're able to get everything more cleanly. And they're saying you can get up to 8 times better tokens per watt than traditional GPUs. And it's hardware agnostic.
Yeah. So they're saying a lot of stuff. I think they're just trying to honestly, they're just really trying to have a seat at the table. They need a seat at the table to survive. Again, just like everybody else, for them, it's also evolve or die, I think. And, they're uniquely positioned to bring a different type of solution. But to me, yeah, so that's nice. That I think is the bigger execution issue.
So before we go into that, Jason, we should tell everybody that Nadella and Zuckerberg were in attendance virtually.
100%.
And this is very important. So
Done deal.
They're talking about a lot of things, but the actual reality and the actual concrete things are Microsoft committed to deploying Qualcomm's new memory architecture inside Azure, while Meta announced a multi-generational agreement for Qualcomm CPUs to power its next server fleet. So those are done deals.
Multi-generational means sticky as all hell.
Yes.
It doesn't mean like, oh, I got an order. It's totally different. When you say multi-generational, that means like I'm going for version 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for like 10 years kind of commitment. So yeah, it's not something you just walk away from. It's not like I'm going to pilot this technology. It's like, no, it's a done deal. But it's not going to show up on the books yet. I think when, to AJ's point, when actual revenue, so there's all kinds of risk in terms of execution. It's if real revenue shows up on the books, that's the point. Not the full revenue, but when actual revenue starts trickling in and people can see it, then the quants pop up. and they're like, oh, the quants, this is a different kind of revenue, number one, and oh, that's a different multiple, and oh, you have this also, and that's when the quants really show up. So right now, none of this is on the balance sheet, like at all, right?
Yeah, and outside of
Humane.
Microsoft and Meta,
Well, Humane's
More-
on the balance sheet, but it's so small, which is for the AI 200 and 250, I believe. Shipping, they pulled that forward, so that ships this calendar year instead of next calendar year. So they pulled that forward. That was good.
yeah, they're pulling a lot forward. You also have Humane, which is the Saudi AI venture fund.
That's
They're their first accelerator customer. You have two unnamed global hyperscalers that have custom silicon deals worth more than $1 billion each starting this calendar year.
so that when I heard that, I was like, whoa, whoa.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
So how about this? The connectivity business already has a lead hyperscaler qualified in shipping. So that's 5 distinct anchor relationships across 4 product lines. And then there's the software level. Now, Qualcomm answered it by acquiring Modular, which you had discussed on Tuesday.
Yeah.
And Chris Latner is running it. He created LLVM, which is the compiler infrastructure that runs on essentially every phone on earth. He built Swift at Apple. He led the software stack for Google's TPUs.
Yep.
His co-founder, Tim Davis, spent 6 years at Google Brain. Modular spent 4.5 years building heterogeneous by design compute layer, the Mojo language, Nmax serving framework, and they are claiming it runs inference up to 50% faster on third-party hardware, including NVIDIA and AMD's. So it's
Right.
positioned as the portable open alternative to CUDA.
Yeah. So that was when they announcing the Modular acquisition on the same day as the investor day. I don't think I posted about it on X, but I don't think many people realized that was the first flag. I was like, oh, what?
So
What?
did
That
you
was like,
catch
and then I get
this?
CPUs, then we get custom silicon. Yeah, it's too much to digest at once. But the way that it's set up is like, okay, let's say they actually fail miserably on maybe the headline AI 250 chipset. Maybe it's an epic failure. There was so much more in the pipeline behind it. It's like, it doesn't really matter. Like, I kind of need to give it a shot. And what's cool about this is that it's so hated that like, and so questioned that like, dude, you know,
So did you catch this? That they outright said that they're calling this a potential Android moment for AI compute against iOS. That's what they're making the analogy to.
so I didn't catch that. What about Modular? I think it's a great offer to actually have. So to be real, I mean, it took NVIDIA, you know, a decade to build the CUDA like footprint. I think they have it with Snapdragon now. For Modular to actually be like an accepted platform is not a overnight thing. They would have to take an angle like Palantir did and just start schooling engineers on it, like out of the gate for free, so that people learn to build on it. That's basically what they would have to do. But yeah, it's worth the shot. The risk to reward from a long-term perspective makes all the sense in the world to me. Does it work out? Couldn't tell you, right? And does it sit here dead in the water for a year? Also couldn't tell you.
It could.
But
It
like
very
Palantir
well
at 9,
could.
but like Robinhood at 9, but like my Rivian at 12, they sat there dead in the water for a couple of years sometimes. Even Marvell at 80 sat there dead in the water for a good year, while everything was happening. But eventually they'll pay off. So timing this one, I'm not in a rush.
Well,
I
and
don't-
let's
I don't
keep in
think we should
mind that Qualcomm's earnings, they don't report on a calendar year. They report on a fiscal year,
Bingo.
which we're in their Q4 right now. So they're
Correct.
going to report their full year earnings in when everybody else is reporting Q3.
Correct.
So then at the end of this year, we're in their 27 fiscal year. At the end of this year, they're trading at 16 and a half times earnings,
Mhm.
and then 13.9, then under 10 forward.
On today's revenue. And then when you
Right.
when you extrapolate, okay, let's say they get to 50% of their goal. That was the number. So like now that you have the forecast, which they increased by 50%, right? Like literally, no, doubled their forecast. Like if you add that and then throw the re-rate multiple on top of that, that's when you're like, okay. But I don't know you'll have the number. That's what I need you for.
What number do you want?
So like, let's say they hit 50% of their goal in the next 12 months.
Mhm.
And they get to halfway of the multiple that to like an NVIDIA multiple, 50% of an NVIDIA multiple, not there, right? So meet them in the middle. So they
Oh, I don't know if NVIDIA is the right one because NVIDIA is trading at a very compressed multiple right now.
okay. So it's
AMD or Broadcom, or AMD or Marvell.
so when we talk about the certain business units, basically custom silicon is a Astera Labs type and switching and a lot of stuff. So it's somewhere between A Lab and Marvell.
Yeah, I mean, if I show you how crazy the differential between Marvell and Qualcomm is on a profitability level
Oh,
today,
yeah.
it's so disgusting.
Yeah.
And this is the other reason why I'm like, you know what? This makes all the sense in the world because Qualcomm's a smaller company
By market cap.
by market, smaller company, yet Marvell trades at 83 times, Qualcomm 18.
Does your machine go backwards in time also?
This is backwards. This is forward.
Okay, because there was a time when Marvell traded at a similar multiple. Because remember, the company that
Correct.
Marvell was 12 months ago, it was
But
exactly Qualcomm.
This
almost
doesn't
exactly
make sense
Qualcomm.
though. Marvell's operating income 1.4 billion. Qualcomm's is 10x the operating income and 4x the net income. Yeah, it's a smaller company by market cap.
Correct.
This is value play 101. And if you think about margins, well, Qualcomm's margins are better. And if you think about free cash flow, way more. And if you think about what you're paying,
Yep.
I mean, I don't want to be paying over 100 times operating income or cash from operations when I can pay 16 and 13x with forward growth and a lot of catalysts on the potential horizon.
Yeah. Yeah. No, so I'm with you 100%. This is one where like, you know what, for the next 6 months, I'd like to build, I'm going to front load this immediately. Just because I actually got my first buys in at about 135, something like that. With this whole, because Humane, the deal with the
Yep.
original AI 200 deal, that deal was actually like a year ago. And so like I've known about this for a long time. And the pullback recently was like, okay, we're gonna have a run.
These numbers are going to change so drastically because right now they're only calculating in 1316 2 years out. So
Right.
come Q3, when this becomes 1850, the growth is probably going to go more to 40%, 45%.
Can we do like a forecasting tool where like you can edit that? How cool would it be if you could just double click a number and say, well, what if it was a 20?
God damn it.
Like
Now
and then it changes the
I
price
already have,
of the ticker, and then you could like forecast it that way.
well, I'm currently building something on Trueflation. Once this is done, I will add that in live.
Oh,
But yes, we can add
Maybe.
that in.
yeah, because I think this whole market is everybody's talking about Marvell.
Undervaluating things, I agree.
Yeah, it's the majority of like, if you think of thematic investing in general, it's all about the multiples re-rating, right? It's not even obviously Marvell. It's just the multiple re-rating. How valuable does the market deem this to be at any given time?
How
And
do you
it's-
feel about CoreWeave, Iren, and Nebius today?
I don't like Iren. I think it's good for a trade. I think it's quality of company. Iren just diluted, didn't they? Like literally just a few minutes ago.
Horribly. 5% 9 million shares each co-CEO, and they're not even performance related, they're time related.
Yeah. So
Horrible for shareholders.
yeah, I like CoreWeave. I don't like the fact that a lot of them have to raise money to build. And it's just part of what it is, which is why Warsh becomes so important. If rates and whatever, and why something like Qualcomm becomes so important. I think that is what is required, is that the second tier players step their games up and increase production across the board, because the demand is not going anywhere. It cannot go anywhere, in my mind, unless let's say Meta gives up, which I wanted to ask your thoughts on this. But if Meta says, all right, we're out, we give up, and then we do let's resell our gear, create some free cash flow immediately. That dynamic is what happened this week. And I think it was the stupidest headline, which, by the way, nobody said there was excess AI compute. That was like a paraphrased headline made up by a reporter. It was not in the article. It was not in the article. But yeah, let's say they decide to give up and resell some of their gear. I don't even know that the frontier models that we know of today are the ones that are going to make it. Like, I don't know that OpenAI or Anthropic or Google are the ones that we're talking about 10, 20 years from now. It could be a whole nother frontier model that doesn't even exist today. It's maybe just an idea at somebody's garage. I don't know. But I just saw that market got shook. Where's Maddie? Shook Baby Club.
Listen, Maddie has a link. I asked him to come on.
Okay. It would be like they were shook. The Bears got what they wanted. Excess AI compute was like worst possible headline. I don't know if I feel like that reporter had to have gotten paid to put that headline in there, man. Just to vibes. But yeah, we'll see. I just don't think that it would matter that much, but definitely what we saw so far is multiples contract immediately, knee-jerk reaction. Everything gets questioned, but at the end of the day, we have earnings coming. We're about to find out what's real and what's not. I'm happy. And dude, I didn't even realize we've been so focused on this AI build out. Do you ever look across the market at other stocks?
You're asking somebody who owns over 200 positions.
I think I might have you, but have you seen, can you pull up a chart of IBB?
Yes, I can.
Like a 5-year or 3-year, something like that. It's insane.
You want of what?
IBB. It's the biotech sector. BB, like 2 Bs.
IBB.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bro, what is happening? What is happening over here? Did we know that there was like this epic breakout of a sector that's been stuck in the mud forever?
Well, you had to think that.
Dude, we're so focused on everything. This is like, dude, this is.
No,
this
I don't agree. I don't understand this shit, so I don't invest in it. You had to think that with AI, they would figure stuff out.
Dude, they're figuring stuff out. We talked about, the cancer drug the other day, but they're figuring. It's got to be like they got to be figuring stuff out, because that chart is bullish.
Yeah,
that's spicy.
I mean, I said the other week, I think genomics and biotech are two that can really break out over the next 3 to 5 years, because we'll see the most advancements there.
Yeah. Also, by the way, this is like 20 or 30% weight of IWM, small caps. That and KRE, right? Regional banks, between the two of them.
What's ARKG doing?
Is it ARKG? What is this, CRISPR?
Yeah, it's genomics. It's CRISPR. It's all that stuff.
Yeah, Carl, I think this is just such a sleeper category.
It is.
and I'm like, it's the hardest one. It's the hardest one. Like,
Oh
where-
boy.
where everybody loses. Hey, what's up, baby? What is that?
Steven.
Say? Shook baby. Over here, y'all. Happy 4th.
Happy
God.
4th of July, brother.
It's time, guys.
How are things?
I'm immediately feeling like we all need to light a stogie right now and
Why is
have
that?
our Friday cigar bar. Oh my God. Can we smoke on if we all had cigars on?
I don't care. I don't care what you do. I checked off not for kids.
That's
Yeah.
true. It's very true.
I actually that might be kind of cool.
Do it. Do it to it. Have fun.
I think you should.
See what they're doing to me, guys. They're like, you should.
No,
it's
I'm
called peer-
just
it's
saying.
called
Do
peer
what you
pressure.
want to
This
do.
was a team effort.
No, dude, I cannot light a cigar in here. You're crazy.
I mean, you do what you want, right?
Crazy.
You do what you want.
So, Matt, how are you feeling about being in first place, sir?
Am I back
my
in first place?
dude? I think you were not in first place once by me, a couple times by me, a couple times by Tanner. In both instances, I think we held it for all of like a 5-minute hold. We could get like a 5-minute hold, just enough for a screenshot, and then poof, she gone.
Tanner, Steve. Dang, how'd you already go back 9% down? I thought you were first.
Dude,
Oh,
it
and Matt, did you see
was
the
all the shook
upgrade?
babies. The shook babies took me down. I'm telling
I
you,
Oh,
made
maybe-
it so you can click your X
Don't worry.
profile.
it's a temporary condition, man. Temporary.
Actually,
condition.
pretty funny story about the
Oh, is that my boy Ryan in the house? Wolf Ryan.
about the White House quant photo up on the X page, but that's a different story for a different day. We'll talk about it later.
Okay. The bloody day.
Chris is actually going to. No, I like Chris's. He's got the leverage, but the quality is he's got the crazy beta, crazy, but low quality but insane beta.
I'll tell you, watch out when CoreWeave and Oracle come back in Broadcom. Watch out. My portfolio is strong.
Hey, how much are you down? How much are you down on CoreWeave?
30%.
30%. Your sleeper. I think you have twofold sleepers, dude.
Zeta's my sleeper.
No, it's not.
How's that not my sleeper?
I feel like MP could be a sleeper.
Maybe.
MP could be a sleeper.
You know, I was looking at Polish mining companies today
What kind of mining?
because they have the densest concentration of copper over there.
Dude, you're still on the copper trip.
I went
dude. I'm
down
telling
this
you,
He's on
whole
the
rabbit
copper
hole
train.
last night and
it's
this morning.
tech resources, but dude, you're so late to the table on that.
I would argue we're early. We need so
Dude.
much more.
Listen, get on the steel bandwagon with me. Check out Cleveland Cliffs. They're gonna get out of the hole. This has like parabolic potential. I'm just saying.
So when did this turn into Technical Thursdays?
You know, we're just
Without
kind of having
Jason.
fun today.
Is it technical Thursday? I don't know.
SpaceX sure was a great idea, Matt.
W's in the chat.
Great idea. Imagine,
Yeah.
imagine if Amit's Apple is the sleeper.
It was a sleeper last year.
It was a sleeper last year.
Yeah, and the AI edge build out just becomes like the biggest thing.
Is CEG still down like 1 billion% in my portfolio?
Yeah. Well, I'm
But
telling. It's just this. It's dude. Don't worry.
Don't worry.
Don't worry, man.
Look
good.
at Apple being his number 2.
Yeah.
Pretty wild. All right, Jason, give
dude,
everybody
technology is
the
going to
CLF
speed
pitch.
up. Technology is going to speed up, Maddie. CEG is going to get it's the Microsoft, right? Microsoft connection to is 3 Mile Island that CEG has, and Talon has Susquehanna. So the technology that pushed them out, they're finally going to catch up. They're going to get to the connection. This thing's going to be up 50% a day. One
You
day.
think so?
That's how it's going to happen.
But when's that happening? Within the next 12 months?
No. Well, they could update it. I think it was supposed to be 2027, but they pushed it out to 2030. So it could happen in the next 12 months. It's possible, but they already pushed the forecast out. But I think that Steve's Trueflation radar is going to have to start factoring how much these companies are going to charge, because this energy is a scarce. It's going to become a scarce resource out here. And I think Talon's earnings call, they were like, they're making like I forgot the number. It was like some obscene incremental profit on every incremental megawatt that they ship or sell. It was like multi-thousands% more that they're making, if they can get it out. But I think that's going to be true for all of them.
What was I gonna say? Oh, Steve, did you show everyone how I'm the Oracle of Oil?
No, that's
What is
private.
that?
Do you want me to show everybody?
What is the Oracle of Oil?
I showed Steve my call credit spread.
I'll show it right now.
To short oil. It wasn't that big of a deal. It was just a little.
Oh,
10
USO.
Yeah, it was a little 10% or 10K little guy.
Nice.
I don't think there's anything proprietary on there, Steve.
No, I downloaded it to the computer, so
Just a trade.
just to make sure.
Everyone,
Janice.
nobody believed Uncle Steve.
Dude, everybody believed Uncle Steve. I tried to tell Uncle Steve that oil was going over 100 when it was like $60 though. He didn't want to buy it.
When it was when the geopolitical issue started, or
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, then how then?
I didn't think it would go over 100, but I also nailed it correctly on it was going to fall under 80 and it was going to fall between 65 to 75.
Yeah, I think the floor is just higher as they fill the SPR. But it's a grind lower, that's for sure. How's gold doing? Gold was coming down hot too. It's there. It stopped.
yeah, that was
going.
the 140, 150 call credit spread for September.
140, 150. Oh, that's
It's
Done deal.
collapsed.
done deal.
It's trying to be rich like Steve.
Listen, Jason and I are on the same wavelength.
No,
Comes the future.
it's a future. We don't really know. Like, it could be another company. Who knows? But it's worth the risk.
The other one, Oracle is so beaten up.
No, it's
I added-
Rivian.
I added more today.
It's Rivian.
I'm not buying Rivian, but I'm buying Oracle.
You're not pronouncing it right, but okay.
How am I supposed to pronounce it?
Rivian,
Rivian.
like your old ex-girlfriend.
Rivian.
And
There it is.
ANNE.
Rivian.
Rivi. Two V's dash ANNE.
Rivian.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, not buying that, but
not?
Oracle is in my future. I am building out that position.
Well,
Man, are you wearing a t-shirt to the office?
I had a jacket on, and then I ended up.
You legitimately do whatever you want to do.
that's how we
Don't
roll.
judge me. Not the twin. Yes,
I just realized that.
the car shirt. Carhartt.
It's bothering me.
Look at you.
Representing.
Representing petroleum. What do we think Uncle Donnie's going to say in 15 minutes?
Oh, are we streaming that?
Absolutely.
All right.
5 p.m., baby.
Oh my god, I'm looking at Maddie's freaking fracking board here on the stock draft. I'm like,
I'll bring it up.
what am I doing? How cooked am I right now? I'm all VST is about the slingshot.
So give us the Cleveland Cliffs pitch.
Cleveland Fit, pull up. You have to pull up its chart. So, like, I think this is the biggest infrastructure build out of our generation. End of story. If you know, do you have steel on your? You know what? That's fine. You could pull up a 5-year chart of Nucor, NUE, and like this is like the steel. NUE. Nucor. So coming off $100, it's well over doubled. I think this is probably one of your best. It's not pure play, but it's like your best alpha in the space. Already run quite a bit. There's another ticker. So for comparisons, it's STLD, Steel Dynamics.
Yeah.
Probably a little bit pure play. But this is a 5-year chart. These companies, clearly, this is super cycle for steel, like building out data centers, refreshing our infrastructure as a whole, like as a country. But for Cleveland Cliffs, their business is slightly different. These two guys can turn off and turn on like their cost centers, on a dime, essentially. Cleveland Cliffs did like iron ore mining. So they had a huge investment that they, when times are bad, they are like asymmetric downside risk. But when times are good, and here's how the times got good, is that after, if you notice the inflection point of timing, right? It's towards the end of 2025. Or no, when did Trump come into office? And the steel tariffs kicked off. I think that whenever he put those into place, if you zoom down on your charts, initially the steel companies had like a pretty heavy pullback, and there was a lot of questioning on whether or not these companies are going to do well. When the tariffs went in place, that was that initial pullback. But what happened, and the truth is that they all got pricing power essentially, and with pricing power, just like Micron, they were able to increase margins. They were able to clean up their books. And now we're looking at, in addition to all of that, the biggest build out of our generation, just not only data center stuff, but refreshing infrastructure as a country. I think the last time we had a build out like this was literally like 30 years ago.
What, fiber with the internet, I guess?
Everything. Like, how old is the like infrastructure for the country? It's old and it needs to be refreshed. And there's all this reshoring, all the above. These are all kind of like extra catalysts for that. So these two companies recover immediately. Cliff, because they cannot turn down their cost center, has this forever cost that they have to run, which is their mine. And when you think about what we're building across the board, that was the biggest debt load that they had on their balance sheet. And because of the pricing power, they were all of a sudden able, they went to 30, right? Able to really pay down a lot of that debt. But you'd have to pull up their last transcripts, or last few transcripts. They're like, yeah, it's coming. The whole industry has margins now. They're going to be just fine, to me. And now that we do have that kind of like one reshoring, to like the extra effects with the tariffs that are helping the steel industry for us, plus the added data center build out and then some. Yeah, I think it's asymmetric upside.
Well, the street agrees with you
Really?
on a EPS basis,
Really?
not on a revenue basis. So they're going to expect to lose 36 cents this year.
Yeah.
And then
that's
next
fine.
year generate 50 cents of EPS.
So that is where the trader comes in. You got the quantitative analysis. I guess I'd call it qualitative analysis, where the street will, the market will front run the results
Yeah.
at the moment that they feel like they're less risky, right? Like at the moment that the market feels like, okay, this is going to happen, and they're a little bit more comfortable taking on the risk, even though it hasn't happened yet, which is usually like a 2-year kind of forward thinking. Yeah, that's
Dude.
usually when it happens.
Are you kidding me?
What?
Okay. I'm looking at the January 2028 options.
Oh
Look how
yeah,
cheap these are.
I know. That's why that's what I'm talking about.
If you're right, like
Look,
seriously, if you're right, this is the best option play I've ever seen.
It's not the best option play you've ever seen. What you would do is you buy the January.
$15 leaps for $227.
Correct. You know what? I already have those up because I was looking on today. Watch this. You know how an options trader works?
Am
You
I
probably-
sharing
you-
your screen?
You have probably, I just did. You've probably never seen this before, but this is actually the leap, like itself. And so I'll chart it all the time. So yeah, it's a little, actually it was about like $200 this morning, yesterday. Just the other day, it was almost 600. So that said, that is a triple just the other day, literally. And that's about where it trades. I'm looking at a chart. Let's go 1 year back. Yeah. So we're here on the option itself. That's $500-600 if it got roughly there. I don't think it existed further out than that. Yeah, that's like when it was born. But I did have that up. There's another one. January 2027. If I just did like a $12 call, super similar. But this is actually what you're supposed to do before you buy something, is actually look at how it trades. I know it's a weird concept, but anyways, the $12 are $2 just recently coming off of 6 as well. Like a couple days ago. So a couple days ago, why a couple days ago? Because a couple days ago, it was already $15. Cleveland Cliffs right here. So just getting back to here, we're not even talking about anything else. Not even having to deal with any of that. Yeah, it's possible.
Well, I
Possible.
just updated the EPS valuation so we can type in whatever you want. You want me to bring Qualcomm back up for you?
Oh, you mean if they hit there? So by the
Uh-huh.
way, this was the spot. Literally, this was the spot that we outlined yesterday or the other day, right?
So are you in Cleveland Cliffs?
Yes.
Okay.
So do I have to disclose that? Yes.
Oh, I just think it would be good if we said if you're in it or not.
But options and equity, yes. Maddie
Gentlemen,
told me
I
he
have
liked
time
it.
for one question, and I gotta go.
Oh, Maddie, give us your pick of the day. That was.
I was
And it
hoping to-
it can't be Rocket Lab. Just because Sir Peter Beck and you text each other, can't be Rocket Lab.
It sounds like there's a lot of resentment in there,
I'm
Steve.
just saying, we know that you guys are like this, okay? We know that you guys text. We get it.
We send rocket emojis back and forth to each other.
I'm sure you guys do. You're probably trying to ask him how you can get knighted also. I get it. Sir Matt Money would be hilarious.
I was hoping to hear from the good old chat, but if you guys want me to give a stock of the day,
Yeah, we want a Maddie pick of the day. What is
I don't
it?
know. I don't have my fingers on the pulse like you guys do. You know, you guys are.
Aren't you working right now? This is work. It's what we do for work.
Matt's at the office right now.
So am I. He's laughing.
He's looking around. He's in the cafe. We're looking around. I love it.
What is my choice? Can't be Rocket Lab. Probably good old next decade, I guess. I don't know.
Ooh. I am with you on LNJ.
Steve hates money though, so he probably won't buy any.
One of your crew says IPX.
Okay.
It's getting there. Tight. It was
Well, Matt-
funny. So Maddie had a question. What was it? You were going to ask a question.
No, I was hoping to get one from the good old group.
Chat.
Saw some people
Maddie.
asking stuff earlier, but now they're being quiet.
Well, I am paying attention for the Donald to come on. So
Yeah. Hey, did anybody? I have a question. Did anybody almost pick Axon?
can I tell you, I owned it at like $13. And
I was
sold it
very close
at
to
like
picking it,
18.
dude. Oh,
Back
it was,
in the
different,
day.
it was a different company then. You
Oh,
like,
yeah.
yeah.
They had just done the body cameras with the online database chain of custody. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, this will be big. And then I made 50% and got out.
Oh, story of my life,
Yeah.
right there,
100%.
100%. I think I did that with Moderna from 20 to 45 or something, an end phase back in the day before the big run. The one I can say I held was like fuel cell from 75 to like 45 something, and plug from $1.73 to 100 whatever. I got that whole bad boy, the whole shebang.
Love that.
75.
Love that one. Well, I think Joe Kernan's going to interview Trump very soon. We'll see.
All right, gentlemen, I'm get out of here.
Maddie, you go home. You go.
Maddie
enjoy yourself.
literally came in. He was like, "I have a question for you, and then I interrupted him, and now I don't get a question. You know,
Yeah, head home, get to the good old gym, and go to dinner. Try to be like Steve.
Where are you going for dinner? We need to know.
I'm gonna go pay for expensive meat to cook it on a grill, Korean barbecue.
oh, let's go.
Like it. I like it.
So we'll see.
Yeah.
I'm not a very good cook, so I can't, if it's not tasty, I can get upset at myself.
It's like you just throw it on the thing.
Yeah,
You should
I'm just,
play with food.
and then I'll
It's
Ask
only
my-
good though if the
w-
robots
would-
serve you.
Okay.
He froze for me.
No. What do you mean?
I lost connection.
no, it was me. I put myself on mute. Sorry. Yeah. Worst case scenario, I'd say this is garbage, and I go get chicken wings somewhere.
All right.
Are there robots?
I don't know if there's robots at this one. It is a nice place though.
Nice is probably not gonna have the robots. Cool place. It's all about the vibes.
But I've wanted to go to this one, and it's kind of in a nearby spot where there's a lot of Korean places, and I love Korean food. So, fingers crossed. So there's you guys.
No, your Buccaneers Wingstop is just it's a staple backup, dude.
Yeah, the person I'm meeting up with tonight, I was like, "Do you like wings?" She was like, "Yes." And I was like, "Well, where's our spot? Like, I need to know the good spots." And she was like, "Wingstop." And I was like, "Well," so I was hoping for some like hole in the wall somewhere or the other, but can't complain with Wingstop. Wingstop's good.
eBay's Wingstop's kind of legit.
Okay, so is Wingstop a buy then? Is that the pick of the day?
It
It's
has
pretty-
dropped a little bit.
It's dropped a lot of it. It's dropped like 50%. 60%,
has.
sorry. It has. It's either that or eBay because Steve's in the store. That part-
Dude,
what a
Yeah.
chart for eBay, my God.
I love eBay.
Chat's out of control, bro. Immediately, just you know how much you're worth.
All
Yeah,
right,
you guys are out of
coming
control.
up, CNB exclusive, Donald Trump with Joe Kernan coming up on Fast Money.
I'm gonna have to bail too because I got some work to do. But I love you guys. eBay to
All right.
150. You heard it from Steve.
eBay could.
Is it actually
Yeah.
million?
Okay.
Yeah, it's on the charts.
Heard it here first. You guys rock. I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Late.
And then there was
His boss was
Captain
walking by.
Sleepy
Oh my
Time.
goodness. What's happened? We got the whole rotation.
And then there was Captain Sleepy Time,
It's muted.
who's muted.
I wasn't even coming in here to chat. I was just coming in to schedule the live that we did. This is what I thought the link was for.
No.
There
8
you go.
8 p.m. tonight. I sent you this link saying that Jason and Matt were on.
Listen,
Okay. Well,
guys,
I'll send you a link for the live in a little bit.
He's
all
not
right.
prepared.
I'm
There's-
still just working away, so I'm gonna
hang.
leave here and then just go schedule the live.
You don't want to watch the Trump interview with us?
No, you guys enjoy.
All right.
Happy 4th. Happy
All right, see you
Canada
guys.
Day. Was it Canada Day? Is it not? No,
Yeah,
that was
Canada
yesterday.
Day was yesterday. Yeah, it was nice.
Boom.
Did you guys have a nice time?
It was good. Yeah, lots
Good.
of fireworks.
With it?
Good.
Did you guys? Everybody drinks clearly Canadian. I ran out.
Yeah,
else?
we were drinking all Molson Canadian. Yeah.
Oh.
Well, I don't drink, but that's what was going around.
No, clearly Canadian is sparkling water. I don't
Well,
drink.
there you
it.
go.
See, ladies.
All right, guys, I'm out of here. See ya.
Later.
Adios. All right.
All right. You have work to do, or you're gonna watch Trump with
No,
us?
I really have work to do. I gotta for our school, the School of Gains.
School of Gains,
School of
which I
Gains,
do
baby.
have on the stock draft site.
There you go. Yeah, no, I gotta get this final done for the students. Imagine taking a final on how you're learning trading.
I love the fact that you have a final on that.
Hey, listen,
Amazing.
I never graduated anything without taking a final. Did you? I don't think anybody did. You can't graduate without
no,
taking
you
a
can't
final.
graduate anything without taking a final.
Exactly. She's in the school.
Love it. All right. Well, thank you for coming on. Everybody appreciates it.
Adios, guys. I love how you're also losing the days of the week, like myself. You know, everything.
Every
kinda
day is
blends.
the same day to me.
It blends together. It blends together. So happy Friday, everyone.
Happy Friday.
Love y'all.
All
See you
right.
later. Peace.
Later, Jason.
Later.
All right, everybody. And then we were down to one. Do me a favor. Please go follow Jason and please go follow Matt if you're not following them. They are great. And get after it. And if you like the content, do me a favor. Like and subscribe to the channel. I will watch the Trump interview with you guys. We're going to take a look at the market real quick. And I want to know, what do you guys want me to build? Like, in all seriousness, I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to be able to put this out for the public or not, but I'm doing my best to figure out a way to do it. What would, if you were going to use a product, what would you want that I have not built? That's what I want to know. What would you actually want? All right. Within reason, I can't build Skynet or other things I just don't want to say. And I was going to do something, and now I forgot what I was going to do. Now I forget. I just forgot what I was going to do. All right. Trump is coming up. Cannot wait for that. It's going to be good. How low do I think CoreWeave can go? I think it can go 60 maybe. I think it can go 60. But we'll see. Option analyzer, okay. Sector-wide tracking tools from Krupa. Krupa, what do you mean by that? That is my question. What do you mean by that? Free intrinsic value calculator. Well, I have a pretty robust one right now that I could actually show you. I built so much stuff on here. Where is it? So, and I have it all written down. I have the methodology here because I actually, when I build these products, I know how I do everything freehand, but sometimes I forget. Like I refine it. So I have my methodology of how I built this with the fundamentals, and this one gives a weight of the weighted average cost of capital versus the return of invested capital, and then it blends a lot of things into it to get the free value and just a lot of shit in here. So I made this to show what the blended fair value is based on a 12-factor scorecard, ROIC versus the WACC, the margin trend, revenue growth, free cash flow growth, interest coverage, price to free cash flow versus the industry, the ROIC, the mode, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then I made it where you can drag these bars and adjust what your assumptions are if you disagree with it, or you have you want to change means you disagree. Watch the share price. It can go up and down based on what the price to free cash flow reversion is, discount rate, base free cash flow growth. Like you can fine tune all this with all your assumptions, margin of safety, expected market return, and that gives you everything else. So I do have this. I did build it for myself. PE versus growth. I mean, I got a lot of stuff on. I built a lot of stuff over the past couple of months. A lot of stuff. I'm not seeing. I have fast money on. Trump's not on yet. Trump is not on yet, guys. Trust me, I am going to stream it with you guys. He's not on yet. And I mean, I would put, so what I'm thinking about trying to do, the terminal that I built with all this, I mean, if you put MSFT, you get a Timu Bloomberg terminal. Tanner just, did a drive-by. He did a drive-by. Technicals we got on here. The news, the filings, ownership, analysts, dividends, valuation, financials. So we got a terminal on it. We got a lot of stuff. So I don't know. If there are things that you are interested in, let me know. I will figure it out. But I am actively working on this. I actually just updated Trueflation, and we now have our own visualization economy heat check to see if we're heating or cooling based on everything that's happening. And we have the overall trends and all the stuff that we look at. So I am actively looking at how I can make this public for everybody. And I mean, there's a lot of stuff. I actually really like the earnings visualizer. I think visualization is pretty cool. You guys see me use this a lot. It's basically everything you see me use is my own stuff that I built for myself on how I want to see it. The cover call ETF stuff, you could really look at any ETF. You could do SCHD versus VYM if you're not into cover call ETFs. And you could do it since Schwab's inception, since that's the newer ETF. And you can see the total returns, everything. You can see the income versus appreciation, et cetera, et cetera. Hollis, That was I'm working on that one. Yeah, I do have the cover call stuff on here. You know, cash secure puts, do Reddit. I mean, this will analyze the cash secure puts and tell you what's conservative, moderate, and aggressive. You can change everything. So there's a bunch of stuff. All right, so we are moments away. No, I didn't. I did not. Chef Mike, thank you, man. You're always so kind to me. I really appreciate it. Tesla has a big announcement July 7th. Could be a good buy. Gamble now. Happy 4th. Thank you, man. Pedro, thank you so much. Holding down the fort for Mitt. Of course, anything for the community. I just hope that the community, when Mitt's done, stays and watches me when I go back till 11:30. Anthony, thank you so much. Can you ask Jason what he thinks of Bros? I missed it. I will make sure we go through it next time I talk with him. I don't like Bros as much as Matt. Matt really likes Bros. I'm a Starbucks guy. Conservative Millennial, thank you. Watch out, Steel. Ipernix is a titanium play that could go for steel price of the pie. Maybe. Neil, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. We were texting. We may do something more often. We'll see. Paul, thank you. My software is not available publicly. Look, here's the thing about my software. I am paying for a personal license. I'm not paying for a commercial license. I would not feel ethically correct to put something out and scam the company that I'm getting the data from. So I'm waiting for a proposal to see how much the commercial license would be for what I want to use it for. So until then, I will not know. So we'll see. We will see. It's not about the subs. It's not about the subs. It's not about that. You know, it's I want to do it the right way. So we'll see what happens. Gator Nation. All right, we're going. We're clicking over. I'm going to shut up. We're going to let it run.
It's hot here, but in the Oval Office, it was surreal. It was 40 minutes. We got to speak. It's the semi-quincentennial. We talked quite a bit about that and the greatest nation in the history of the earth. Obviously, and wide-ranging subject. One of the first things the president mentioned was exactly where the market closed today. He's very proud of that. But we talked about a lot of other things. Here's the president. Mr. President, it's great to see you.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me in this incredible place. And
It's a nice place.
Happy Independence Day and happy semi-quincentennial.
Yeah, that's true.
If I got that right.
Thank you.
250 years, and I just want to start flying at about 40,000 feet, and just, which you've done in pretty nice plane lately, by the way, I saw that.
Yeah.
What's so amazing about this country, in your words, for the last 250 years? It's, you always say like never been seen before. There's never been a country like this that's ever been seen in the history of the
Well, a
world.
lot of people don't understand that right now we are in a golden age. You understand it very well. You cover it very well. We have more factories being built today than ever before. We have more people working today than at any time ever in the history of our country. And people making more money than they've ever made. I'm not talking about rich people. I'm talking about people that have like normal or normalized jobs, more money than they've ever made before. 401ks are up at levels that they've never seen before, up 80 and 90%. And the stock market's at an all-time high. I think it's 81 days out of a short, year and a half. 81 days, we have 81 records. So nobody's ever seen anything like that.
Or if it backs up, something's hitting a record.
Well, if it
Whether
backs
it's
up,
the
we won't
S&P or the
talk about it.
NASDAQ or the Dow another all-time high.
But you said if it backs up, hopefully it won't. But
Well, on
if
any
it
given
does, I
day.
will not be talking
But-
about it. I'll be talking about it other stuff.
But an unbelievable quarter, unbelievable first half of the year. Your first term, we saw, I think, if depending on what you measure it from, either 80% from election day, I think, 70% from inauguration.
First term was great. First term
and
was,
it might even be at a faster pace.
this is better. So the first term, we had the most successful 4 years, including the COVID. You know, when you include that, when I handed it off, it was literally, I mean, you look at the numbers, we had the highest market in history. First term was great financially. This is, I think, blowing it away. I think this is going to blow it away.
So we had the jobs number today, which is weird because it's Thursday, but the markets aren't open tomorrow. But 57,000 jobs were below expectations, and I think there were some revisions, but the job market has been stronger than people anticipated. However, you know, we had $90 oil at 67, 68 today,
Right.
and 57,000. Would you say that gives Warsh, the new Fed chairman who you chose, more flexibility to cut? Because for a while we thought the next move might be a hike. Now it's the stars are aligning, would you say, for him to cut?
Well, he's got a board that maybe is a little bit hostile. And, you know, unfortunately, and maybe a board that wants to do the wrong thing. So I don't know. He's a great guy and a great pro, and I know where he'd like to be, but he has to do what he has to do. I really think that I would love to be able to get back. You know, in the old days, probably maybe before you started thinking about these things, but if you go back 20 or 25 years, when you announced great numbers, the stock market went up. When you announced bad numbers, the stock market would go down. Today, it's the opposite. When you announce good numbers, the stock market goes down, sometimes really way down, depending on how good. The better they are, the more, because they have this phobia, they have this horrible derangement syndrome about inflation. And growth can be good for inflation, not just bad for inflation. And it's a shame. Anytime numbers are announced that are not so good, I wish I could flip it the old way, that when you announce great numbers, because otherwise it's almost like they want to kill strength. They want to kill success. You announce good numbers. I want to, like, you have a couple of countries. India is one, doing very well, but it's at 7-8%. Others, take a look at Japan's numbers. I mean, they're doing very well. She's very good. She's doing a good job, a friend of mine, but they're allowed to go up. We're not allowed to go up. If we go up, they want to kill it. There's no reason we should stop at 4%. We should be at 12% and 13% GDP. And I hate what happens where in the old days we would be, that's how we built the country. Now you announce positive things and they want to bring it down by raising interest rates. And it shouldn't be that way. It should go back to the way it was.
You mentioned that Warsh might not, the chairman has other people on the Fed, obviously.
He does.
So has Lisa Cook on the Fed. The Supreme Court ruled on Monday. I'm not really sure exactly whether it was on the merits or whether it was procedure, but I think you said that
Procedure.
You're going to take the appropriate action when the time comes. What could you do to get rid of?
Get her off.
How would you do it at this point?
By winning the case. They sent it back, not based on the merits, they sent it back on process and procedure. So we'll start the process and we'll do perfect process and perfect procedure.
Speaking of the Supreme Court, you're allowed to fire, except for the Fed, you're allowed to fire people at other federal agencies, which for you and in your term would make a big difference for you. But my
It was
question
by far the biggest slaughter, as they call
of
it.
the SCOTUS.
It was by far the biggest of all the decisions and all of the cases and all of, you know, what they just announced. So this has been going on since 1932, where they took the right away from FDR. They took it away, which was, you know, you think of FDR, that doesn't happen, but it did. He fought very hard to get it back. In fact, he wanted to pack the court. He was willing to pack the court. They were his justices. And this has been going on since 1932. And I want it back. And there are those that say this is one of the biggest decisions handed down in decades.
You know that
Bigger than birthright citizenship, bigger than anything.
what if a Democratic the next time a Democrat is elected president, and the executive branch has all this expanded power that you've gotten.
Well, then they've got it.
Don't you worry they'll undo some of your policies at that point?
I can only speak for myself. It's necessary.
Worry about what's now. And
Yeah, I mean, look, it's necessary. It's actually an honor to have won that because every president since FDR has been trying to get that back, and I got it back. That's a big deal. You know, it's a checkpoint.
Along the same lines, if the Democrats take the House, and I want you to succeed as president. I want a businessman to run the country, and all along you entered as a billionaire businessman, which was unprecedented. I think George Washington owned a lot of land, but no one's ever. I think JFK had a trust fund, but no one's ever been as wealthy as you. And you obviously know how to run a business, and that I think informs the way you run the country, obviously. Now, many people argue business experience is needed in government, and we've seen the stock market in the first term and the second term. I think it's been rewarded to have a businessman in there. So I think we shouldn't be surprised that your businesses are doing well, but how would you counter critics that say you're using the presidency to enrich yourself and your family?
Well, in a lot of ways, if you think about it, the stock has gone up so much. The stock market today, it's up 500 points. It's up to almost 53,000. I watched your show and you had somebody on, one of your brilliant analysts, and they said if I had won the election, they said if President Trump could get the stock market to anywhere near 50,000, that would be an unbelievable achievement. And that was over 4 years. In other words, at the end of his term, 4 years, if he could get anywhere near 50,000, that would be, well, it's at 53,000. It's just a couple of points short of 53,000 right now. And that's essentially after a little bit more than a year.
But do you worry that if the Democrats were to win the House, that there's going to be endless investigations of you and your administration?
Well, I don't do anything having to do with my business. My kids run it. I put a lot of money. I had a lot of money, and I have a lot of money. And I've made money. I'm a business person. I'm a really good business person. I've made money. I've made a tremendous amount of money, more than I would have ever thought I would have made. And I let people invest it. I don't even know who they are, but it's given to big firms like that are on your show all the time. My son, Eric, handles it. I don't talk to him about things such as this. I think I'd be allowed to. I'm not sure even what the status is, but I don't. And he gives it into these like semi-blind trusts or blind trusts where people invest. There was a story today about Jensen Huang, who's fantastic, NVIDIA, and that I have some stock. I think it's very small. I think it's one of many companies that one of the big Wall Street firms invests in. So they said, oh, Trump has some stock in there. But I don't care about that. You know why I don't care?
Yeah.
Because I have a much bigger purpose. This is the Oval Office. It's a much bigger purpose than whether or not I make money. As an example, the president's the highest paid person in government. And, by some standards, gets a lot of money. I'm the only president, they say, that's ever given up my salary. I gave up my salary.
Right.
I don't get a salary. I gave it up. And that's a lot of, by some standards, that's a lot of money.
But making money in the stock market, that makes sense. So as far as crypto goes, and I'm just wondering, you didn't divest your business, you have your sons running it. I think vice presidents and presidents aren't subject really to conflict of interest laws, but there's this notion that you need to be aware of conflict of interest.
Yeah.
There was a large sum of money made in crypto. Did you know that your family business was going to engage in crypto? Did you have anything?
Well, I was there before I was in office, but the way I view crypto is a little differently. We have to be at the top, otherwise China's going to take it over. Like, for instance, AI, we're leading substantially in AI over China and everybody else. I mean, we're leading. When I was with President Xi 3 weeks ago, he greeted me and his first words, literally were, wow, you've really done a great job. You've really, because this country was dead. We had a dead country. Now we have the hottest country in the world. And the way I look at AI or the way I look at crypto is if we're not going to do it, China's going to get it. Most likely China, but somebody else. Japan is somebody else. And I want to, it's a big industry. Crypto, if you call it an industry, but it's a big deal. And crypto is a big deal. You look at it, the way it's grown over the years, you have believers, you don't have believers, you know, whatever it is, but it's a big deal. And anything we do, I want to be number one in. And we're number one in crypto, and we're also number one in AI.
In the disclosure this week, the amount of money that you and the family made in crypto, it was an outsized number. I was just asking, were you know about the crypto ventures? So that was just something.
By the way, I could know about it. I didn't.
Right.
I mean, there's nothing illegal. There's nothing wrong with it. I could know.
There's a specific, I remember our Title 18, Section 208 from Congress, you, the Vice President, and you do not have, you would have to recuse yourself.
I didn't even know that.
You would have to recuse yourself on every
Yeah.
decision that running the country that could have anything to do with you. So it just isn't feasible to do it.
Well, I feel badly in a way for my kids because every time my kids do, if they invest in a stock or if they go and do a bill, anything they do, because the presidency is so powerful, so big, everything, if they buy a cupcake company, well, the energy to make the cupcakes is, you know, sort of like, how's my energy policy? So therefore you have a conflict. Almost anything they do, if they want to buy a truck, if they want to buy, you know, if they buy an energy efficient truck, they have inside information. It's pretty tough in that sense. I tell my kids, stay away from as much as you can stay away from, but they also have a life. You know, we were doing business long before I ever thought of, you knew me a long time before I thought of even running. You knew me before I even thought about running for president.
I did. I knew you before you
And
were
we did a lot of
married to
business.
Melania, I think.
Yeah, that's right.
That's
But
right.
I did, you know, I've made a lot of money over the years. And I think one of the reasons that I got elected was they have a business person. And if you look at what's happening, we're beating everybody. We're beating China. We're beating every single country. We're the envy of the world. And AI, whether it's good or bad, we have it.
Let's talk about that.
And we are leading by so much. I'm letting all of these big plants, everyone said, well, we don't have the energy to compete. I came up, and this was something I'm proud of. I did it myself. I said, I came up with this idea. I let each plant build their own electricity. They become a utility. But these massive plants that are being built, they can't go off an old grid. So we wouldn't have anybody. We literally wouldn't have anything. We need double the energy, double the electricity that we have right now to do that, just that one AI industry. So I let the plants, as they build these billions and billions of dollars of plants, I let them build their own electric generating plants. And they build them on top, they build them on the side, they build them separately. And we have nothing but electricity. If you really look, we have more than anybody. If I didn't come up with that concept, we would not be in first place. We would be in last place. We wouldn't have any. We don't have enough from the old grid.
What about taking?
So I'm sort of proud of that.
Reportedly, Sam Altman is discussing giving the government a 5% stake in OpenAI. Is that possible? And is that true? And would other AI companies do similar things, or would you like them
I did
to?
something with Intel.
Right.
That a lot of people don't know about and talk about, but it was, they had problems with things. And they got hurt badly because no president ever charged tariffs. And Taiwan literally took 100% of the business almost. Mostly Taiwan, but South Korea a little bit, but mostly Taiwan. And I said, boy, if I was president, that would have never happened. Taiwan would never be in the position they're in. Now, of course, they're in a little bit of a tenuous position. And I have them all moving back. They're all moving back into this country. We're going to have 40 to 50 to 60% of the chips. I think by the time, we're pretty close to the time I leave office, they're building chip factories in Arizona in particular. The biggest company in the world is building. They're leaving Taiwan, meaning to build this. They're building their biggest plant. And I think we're going to have a big percentage of chips. Right now, we had virtually nothing. We didn't make chips anymore. And Intel came in, they had a problem. I said, I can solve your problem, but I want 10% of the company. They said, what? I said, I want 10% of the company. And he agreed to, and the stock has gone through. So I think we made $60 or $70 billion in 8 months. Do I get credit for that? No. Somebody said, that's not very American. I said, no, I think it is very American, actually. And I've done that with other deals
I
where.
think they had a loan anyway from the
Well,
CHIPS Act, and now
yeah.
it's better to have equity than a loan, you would think.
Well, it worked out well from our standpoint.
Right, that's what I mean.
We
yeah.
really had no investment. We had, on zero investment, we made about, I guess, $70 billion in a period of 8 or 9 months. But that's a great thing. What's happened is Intel has gone through the roof. You know, it's one of the hottest companies, and they've done a great job.
Is Chinese AI, is it catching up? And do you need, are there some new restrictions you're thinking about that would make sense on technology?
Well, you need some guardrails, but you want to do as little as possible. You want to be good. We have, when we think there's a bad player out there, there's a little danger, we stop the player quickly and effectively. We had a recent case where we did that. But you have to be, look, you have to be in the game. AI is bigger than the internet. I've never seen anything. You know, the internet was a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is much bigger than the internet. And I'm basing it on numbers. I've never seen anything. Look, I went through the internet thing and I watched and I saw it grow very effectively. But this could be bigger. If we're not competing, and if we're going to compete, because I really think whoever's number one is going to really win the race. And right now we're substantially number one.
I'm going to try and do as much as we can.
You go ahead.
I hope that's okay.
If he needs a little more time, just relax. I'm not Kamala. You know, they give him 4 minutes and then start screaming at him.
That housing bill.
Don't be nervous, okay?
I'm only in the Oval Office with, no, I'm not.
He's been my friend for a long time, and he's a good man too.
In a few days, it's going to become law one way or the other, the housing bill, right? You're going to sign it? Will it become law? Where do you stand on that? Is it? I know you called it, I don't think you were necessarily anti-housing bill. You called it Yon because you think what's really important is
Save America Act, yeah. So I think the Save America Act is the most important thing that we'll have before us, and maybe for many years back and many years forward. It's voter identification with a photo. So you look at somebody, yeah, that looks like that guy. Voter ID, it's proof of citizenship. And it's no mail-in ballots, except for the military. We're very generous on this. If you're sick, if you're just not feeling well, you can get exceptions. If there's a disability, there's some problem, or if you go on vacation. But you can't send in millions and millions and millions of ballots where you swamp the place. And it's so corrupt. We're the only country in the world that does it. So it's those three things. I also had no men in women's sports, but we won that yesterday in the Supreme Court. And I also had no transgender mutilization of children. And frankly, we'll win that too. So I took them out. So I have the three things.
Will you let it go, the housing? You let you would veto it, would you?
So nobody knows more about housing than I do. I made billions and billions of dollars with housing. And I know exactly what they've done. They made maybe zoning easier, but maybe they made it tougher without knowing it. It was very complex stuff. But the housing bill is fine. There's a lot of Democrat points in there that I don't even think are good, but it's fine. But I've made the case, I'd rather not sign anything until we sign the Save America Act.
You think through reconciliation or
Save
filibuster?
America, because if you do Save America, you're not going to have cheating.
Practically, how do we get there on Save America? What would you like Majority Leader Thune to have?
Well, I would like them to get it passed. What I'd really like is for them to
Filibuster.
kill the filibuster, terminate the filibuster. When they terminate the filibuster, then they'll immediately approve the Save America and 100 other things. You could sit down all day long and just vote and you'd have it. And the sad part is we probably have 5 or 6 senators that won't vote for it, Republican senators, and all of the Democrats. So their policy's no good, the Democrats. I call them the Democrats because their policies are so bad. But the one thing, unfortunately, they stick together. They don't have
Well, we'll see.
Mitch McConnell.
We'll see what this
now
will
a Mitch McConnell.
The Democratic Party's got their own issues right now. We'll talk
They
about
do.
that a
It's a
little later.
different kind
too.
of issue. When
Yeah.
they vote on something, they
Oh,
say,
like the board.
look at the Supreme Court justices. The 3 Supreme Court justices, every vote, if it's for or against, it's 100%. I don't think they had any dissension. Where's our people? Yeah, no. It's almost, I've said it. Republicans want to show everybody how they're not controlled, how they're so honorable. Whereas the Democrat justices and judges, by the way, and judges, they get up. Barack Hussein Obama appointed me and I'm voting for him. Republicans don't do that. And I'm amazed. I'm not saying it has to be a loyalty test, but it's much different. The 3 justices vote as a block. I think I can remember one time, but very, very seldom, do they not vote as a block. Whereas our people, and we have 6, but they move around a little bit and they suppress. For instance, birthright citizenship. I should have won that. That wasn't meant for billionaires from China bringing a child over and becoming an American citizen, and far worse than that, much worse than that.
The last word's not out on that
vote.
either.
I'll tell you, the worst vote was tariffs. I'm doing the same tariffs, but now it's much tougher. Joe, I stopped 8 wars because of tariffs. India, Pakistan. I mean, I did so many. I stopped 8 wars. Everybody acknowledges it. And 5 of the 8 were stopped because of tariffs. I said, if you keep fighting, I'm going to put a 200% tariff on your country. Said it the same thing to the other. I did it with India and with Pakistan. 11 planes were shot down. They were going to war, and they're nuclear nations, strong nuclear nations. And the prime minister of Pakistan said President Trump saved at least 30 million lives by stopping this war.
You know what has been a really good indicator of what's happening in the war in Iran or whatever the conflict is oil. And regardless of what we hear from whomever has the stage in Iran, but you pointed out, we don't know who's talking at any given time. There's different factions.
We killed one group,
and then another.
we killed the second level.
But $67, $68 oil.
We're down to lower than we were before.
It shows you that probably, even though we have these skirmishes on both sides, and I don't know whether that continues, I don't know whether you can tell me whether that continues. Have you been close to doing more than just a reciprocal move on them?
Well, I think I've done much more than reciprocal.
Right,
because
but
when
you
when
want
I went in,
diplomacy. You want
yeah.
diplomacy at this
Look,
point.
I built the military in my first term.
Right.
I'm using it in my second term. When I went in, otherwise we wouldn't have. And that's after Biden gave so much away in Afghanistan. He just said, leave it. We left brand new military vehicles. We left tanks. We left airplanes. These people are crazy. They don't know what they're doing. And there was no reason to do it.
Right.
Getting out of Afghanistan was fine, but they should have kept Bagram, the Air Force base. They could have kept it very easily. We would have gotten out with dignity and strength. That we shouldn't have been there in the first place. Or we could have won. I would have won it. I would have won it or gotten out, but I would have won it. But they just teetered around. You know, it's interesting. So we're in the war, and it's really the denuclearization of Iran. This is not a war per se. This is the denuking of Iran. You can't let them have a nuclear weapon. And I'm doing it for 3.5, 4 months, right? Look at Venezuela. That was a one-day war. And we've gotten our money back many, many times over for the cost of the war. But in a certain way, I'm doing just as well with Iran. It's a much bigger, more complex situation. Our relationship, by the way, with Venezuela is great. They're doing better than they've ever done with oil. The big companies are moving in, and we're getting a good chunk of it too, as we should. But with Iran,
what if they jerk you around? What if they jerk us around again with either the Strait or with the, you know, they know the midterms are coming.
Because they've had their own way for 47 years. Like if you're a spoiled child and you've had your way for many years with your parents, and all of a sudden they come down hard on you, it takes you a little while to get used to it. They've had their way for 47 years. They pushed everywhere. They were known as the bully of the Middle East. They pushed the countries around, and they pushed the United States around because we had presidents that weren't willing to do. Look, Barack Obama paid them to try and keep them in line, gave them $1.7 billion in cash. You remember that because you reported that. They put it on a beautiful 757 Boeing, They took all the seats out and they stuffed it with green cash from Virginia, Maryland, and DC. The banks had no money left. They literally took and they delivered it to Iran. And they took out satchels and sacks of money. In addition to that, they paid tens of billions of dollars. And you know, they got a lot of nuclear research and a lot of weapons and a lot of missiles and an enemy. They actually went on the other side. And how a Jewish person can vote for a Democrat is beyond me.
Well,
because I've been the best president in the history of Israel. And they acknowledge, and by the way, in Israel, I think I was at 99% or something. But Joe, you can't let Iran, whether it's Israel, the Middle East or not, you can't let Iran have a nuclear weapon. And when you say, maybe I'm a little bit nice, no other presidents even thought of doing what I did. So in my first little while there, I ripped their military apart. They have no Navy. They have no Air Force. They have no radar. Their leaders are all dead. And they they raise new leaders. They're all dead also. We're in the third set of leaders. And we actually get along with them. I think they're much more rational. By the way, I think that's regime change, but I'm not looking for regime change. I'm looking for something very simple. They cannot have a nuclear weapon. Or if you want to see market disruption. So think of it. The oil today is at $68. The market's up to almost 53,000. The S&P, they said the S&P would never hit 7,000. Never. I did that in 10 months. They said I would never hit it during my term. They said I'd never hit 50,000 during my term.
We spoke.
And nobody else would. Yeah, but Joe, neither would. And they said nobody else would either. They said if I could get to 45,000.
Pragmatic end. I said that to you when you asked me if this is a pragmatic end. You're not going to be in a forever war.
That's true.
And
Well, that's true.
there are other concerns. But
Joe, wait a second. We're in Vietnam for 19 years.
But
We were in Afghanistan for like 10 years. We were in the Korean War forever. We were in, I don't even mention World War I and World War II. They're biggies. But you know what? Stuff like this could have led to it. But we were in many, many years in every war. I've been there for 4 months. And what have I done? I've defeated them militarily. They're totally defeated militarily. They have some missiles left. We could wipe them out too. And I hit them 3 times last week very hard because they sent a drone into a ship. I hit them. Then they did something else and I hit them. I hit them 3 nights in a row. The week before I hit them 2 nights in a row very hard. And we're negotiating and we'll see whether or not. I think they've agreed to just about everything we need.
no. Do you, I'm going to switch gears completely. And we have assets left over there. If necessary, you're willing to do what's necessary.
We have all the assets. No, they're just
And if
waiting.
You're not anticipating another full.
Joe, I did a blockade that was essentially not a blockade. It was a wall of steel. We have the great Navy, the greatest Navy in the world. These guys are unbelievable. Not one ship got through to Iran. They have 300% inflation. They're making no money. So we're going to take some of the money and we're going to buy them. They need food. They need corn and wheat and soybeans. And we're going to have exclusively our American farmers provide that, assuming we get to the position where we should get to. I think we're going to get there. Their strength is gone. Their bravado is gone, although they keep up a pretty good front. The one thing they do have is fake news. The New York Times said the other day that Iran is in better position now than it was 4 months ago. I said, wait a minute. Their military is gone. Their inflation is up to 300% from 5%. Their leaders are gone. Their second row of leaders are gone. Some of their third row of leaders are gone. Their generals are mostly wiped out. But they said that they are in better shape today than they were 4 months ago before we attacked. No, we were very strong. And, you know, look, I always said, I don't want to be a president with a depression on his resume. I don't want to be Herbert Hoover. Of almost all presidents, and some have been bad, some have been good, very few have been great, but I never want to be Herbert Hoover, because Herbert Hoover was the president that probably took us into the Great Depression, the greatest depression, led the whole world there. He raised interest rates and he raised taxes simultaneously. I guess he was trying to do something, but that didn't work out too well. By the way, you know what? It took us 30 years to get out of it. FDR didn't get us out of it. There's a picture right there, FDR, nice picture. It took us years to get out of it. I don't ever want to be in a depression. I don't want to be a president that oversees the great worldwide depression. That was Herbert Hoover. And it was a terrible thing. And he made a mistake. Now, if I want to be the tough guy and close up the strait for the next years, where 21% or whatever it might be, 20%, 21% of the oil never comes out, and you can't get oil anymore. You know what a lot of people don't know, one of the reasons it only went up, it went up to like $115. If you remember, and I've seen guests on your show where they go, oil will be $350 a barrel and there'll be a depression. Because at $350, there's a depression. It's automatic. It goes with it. I said, well, we got to do something. We did something nobody knew. Every night we were taking ships out through the South, which is the furthest point from where they have their little weapons. And they were going along the coast with no lights. For a month and a half, a lot of ships came out. We had one night where we took 22 ships out. That's a lot of oil. Those are big ships. Some of them are really big ships. And in a way, they had courage going out. But our Navy took them out. We escorted them out. And nobody knew. The lights were off. Everything was off. Everything was silent. We blew up Iran's radar. They had no radar. They still don't. We blew it up again the other night. They had a nice new radar set. They were all set to go. And we blew it up last week. They have to start all over again for a third time.
Have you talked?
But Joe, that kept, I think, other things too. But Joe, think of it. Did we ever get above 115?
Never went up as.
Think of it.
Originally, it was at 115, came down quickly.
No, but they thought it was going to go to 300. If you have 300, then I become Herbert Hoover. I don't want to be Herbert Hoover.
Have you spoken to Elon since he became a trillionaire?
I haven't. I wrote him a note. I said, congratulations, very good. I have a very good relationship with Elon. Elon and I had a little dispute because he backed me 100%. He liked me, still likes me. But I did a little thing called the electric mandate. We're not going to have an electric mandate where everybody has to have an electric car, where your beautiful son standing over there is mandated to have an electric car if he wants gas generated or gasoline generated or a hybrid. And I made so many speeches, and Elon was there for many of them. And I'd always say, we will not have the electric mandate. But when I actually did it, Elon was not thrilled about that. And I can understand it, but he's doing good.
Yeah, he's moved on. Do you think, have you talked to him about donating SpaceX to something you might want to talk about, or donating SpaceX stock to Trump accounts?
Well, I think that he will do that. Micron, which is a great company, just did it. Yeah. Michael Dell is a fantastic guy. He did $6,250,000,000.
Are you ringing the bell next week or something?
And I'm ringing the bell right here, I think. They're going to have a bell, and it's New York Stock Exchange and NASDAQ. I said, what do you mean? They don't do both?
You're invited to the NASDAQ if you want to.
Well, well, that's interesting. It's very interesting. No, they're doing it together. It's the first
time.
I
can do that.
No, but do you know what they're doing? I was surprised. They're doing it together. The New York Stock Exchange, I think Jeff is coming in, and the head of NASDAQ is coming in, and we're doing it together. See? It can happen. We're doing it. See this spot right here? The bell's going to be right there.
That brings me just back to 250 and how you think you can set us up for the next 50 years. And one of the things I think is, Secretary Bessent talked about the Trump doctrine. There were 5 things, and I think we got to have national capacity here for anything we need. We need to be able to get it here.
Right.
Reciprocity. We can't be. It can't be flowing one way to the rest of the world. We got to write the rules for the new technology, which is that's AI. Dollar's got to stay strong. We need financial leadership, but maybe most importantly, it's all got to flow up and down to every American needs to participate in the prosperity here. Trump accounts, I think it's a big leap towards I mean, it's a novel way. We haven't even considered it in the past. Might be the most powerful, instead of just transfer payments.
It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
It's a child has no money. And when that baby becomes a man or a woman, they can have hundreds of thousands of dollars, maybe more, but they can have hundreds of thousands of dollars because we're seeding it. And guys like Michael Dell and Susan, his wife, they were so strong for it. But think of it, he's putting up $6,250,000,000. That's tremendous amount. I don't care how rich you are, that's a lot of money. And he wants to do it again. And others are. So again, I literally just spoke yesterday to Micron, hot company, great guy. What a great guy. And he said, we're putting up $250 million into the Trump accounts.
Mm-hmm.
So many companies are doing it. And I mean, kids that won't have any money when they turn 18 or 21 have a chance of being sort of rich. It's an amazing thing, and it's been very successful.
Do you have a favorite president, or do you think there's a period that was so formative that if we lost our way in any respects, do you think at this point?
We've had some very bad presidents. The president has got tremendous power in this country, even before the decision that I got, Slaughter. They call it the Slaughter decision, which is an interesting name. But that's a very powerful decision. But he gave a lot more power to the president. But it has been a strong presidency, not just me. It's been a strong presidency. It's considered a strong office. You know, other presidents are not considered a strong office. Even if you're president, you can't do as much. But now with this additional, I mean, it's very special. We are respected again as a country, maybe like never before. A year and a half ago, we were laughed at. They're not laughing anymore. They respect us. The King of Saudi Arabia told me, and I've said this numerous times. He said it, but many people said it. He said, President, a year and a half ago, America was dead. They thought it was dead. And right now you have the hottest country anywhere in the world, and we do.
Well, let's hope for another 250 like that.
Thank you very
We're on a
much.
good start. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you,
President.
Joe, very
For all
much.
your time. Thank you.
Great job.
Happy semi-quincentennial.
Happy something, right? Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
That was our own Joe Kernan with his exclusive sit-down interview with President.
Okay. Thank you for watching that with me, everybody. Look, I'm going to make a statement. I made it yesterday. I made it the day before. I don't care who the president of the United States is. I don't care what side of the aisle they are on. Male or female, doesn't matter to me. Democrat, Republican, doesn't matter to me. When they speak, I will listen because it is important to the economy, it is important to the stock market. And if we're going to analyze the stock market, we should be willing to listen to the president, regardless if we voted for them or not. Now, what I take away from that? Trump is not going to let the market fall, especially heading into the midterms. I think that he's going to do whatever he has to do to make sure that the stock market is doing well. We've seen the playbook from him in the past. He mentioned crypto. He mentioned AI. He mentioned a lot of things. Now, do I like the Micron thing? No. Do I think it's suspect? Yes. It is what it is. But I wish Micron had donated that money when Michael Dell and his wife were donating the money, when companies were actually donating the money, when Brad Gerstner was pitching the Trump accounts / American accounts, whatever you want to call them. I think it's bad optics that they did it this week after Apple started looking at Chinese memory companies. Now, I think that he knows Warsh is going to have a difficult time. I don't think that he's going to try to pull strings because he can't. We have no idea how the Fed members vote personally. We don't know any of them. I happen to think Warsh is a very smart guy. He's a drunken Miller guy. Him and Bissent are very close. I do think that Trump is going to do what he can to make sure that America is leaders in AI and leaders in technology. When I think about that, it's hard for me to get bearish on tech. There's probably a lot of other areas they're going to do well, but it makes me think that, you know what, American tech is going to work, American ingenuity is going to work, and the rest of the market is going to go up along with it because they're going to be able to expand margins considerably. I think this is a great time for the markets. And I think that we are, unless something happens, I think we're done with the Iranian conflict. Oil is turned over. We may even see high 50s, low 60s by the end of the summer, beginning of the fall. He even said it on this interview. He could have blockaded for years. Would have been horrible for the energy markets, but he could have done it. And you know what? We'll never know why they actually went in. They say enriched uranium. They say nuclear weapon. Who knows? We are where we are. And we're at a point where the oil markets are turning over. CPI is turning over. PPI is going to start to turn over. And I do believe we get to 8,000 this year on the S&P. So how am I going to position? I still have an idea that financials are going to do very well. I think minerals will do well. I just think the market's going to do well in general. Let's take a look at what's going on after hours. And I'm going to look into Cleveland Cliffs more for everybody. I thought Jason's idea was interesting. You know what? Let's, who do we got talking? I don't know if I really want to see what they have to say. I think I'm over the whole Trump thing. All right. So after hours, Apple did not lose 300, which we like. Lena's Netflix After Dark is working. Ethereum is working. VC is coming back. Palantir 130. I like it. Hood 111.89. I like that also. Nike up a little bit. Milken's killing it on that. Uber 74.13. Salesforce 166. Microsoft 390. Energy Transfer 1930. CrowdStrike 194. Amazon 242.80. Amazon, my opinion, is a story for robotics. It's a story for AI. It's a story for margin expansion. This is a quintessential company of robotics being able to expand margin for them. The fact that Amazon is trading here is crazy. It's crazy. Rocket Lab 100, oil 68.46. It is July 2nd. I said that by July 4th, the war would be over, oil would be under 80, and the most likely scenario would be that trades between 65 and 75. It happened. Now we just need it to hold. Zeta over 20. SoFi over 18. Oracle 140. NVIDIA couldn't hold 195. I don't know what to tell you. Qualcomm 176 is getting very interesting. AMD 519. TKO Group getting smoked. Micron under 100. Meta 583. Marvell 246. Iren 39 and SanDisk 1767. I don't hate where we are. We're looking pretty good going into the second half of the year. I think the signs are bullish. We got earnings season starting in 2 weeks. This weekend, I'll be looking at a lot of different things to get back to you on. CapEx, I don't think there's any signs that it's slowing. So it's 6 o'clock. Tanner and I will be back at 8 o'clock. We're going to discuss tech, AI, CapEx, all those great things. So please join us then. I'll be back tomorrow. We'll probably get started around 9:30 since there's no market. 9:30 or 10 o'clock, we'll do a little, what do we see for the second half of the year? And we'll go for, CeeLo, 3 dice. Dougie Dallas, thank you very much. So CeeLo is 3 dice. You roll all 3 dice. If you roll a 1, 2, 3, you automatically lose. You don't get to roll again. Then, when you roll, you need a double and then a number. So if you get a double and then a 1, you have a 1, a double and then a 2, a double and then a 3, etc., etc. Higher score is better. And then trips, 3 1s, 3 2s are better than 3 1s, 3 3s are better, 3 4s are better, 3 5s are better, 3 6s are better. Then a 4 5 6. If you roll a 4 5 6, nobody else gets to roll. You take the money, you walk away. Then it's one tie, all tie. So if somebody rolls a 5, so let's just say you have 5 people playing. First person rolls a 5, next person rolls a 2, next person rolls a 3, next person rolls a 4, and then the last person rolls a 5. One tie, all tie, everybody rolls again. I'm explaining CeeLo. I can't believe the amount of people that have not played CeeLo. Crazy. It's a dice game. It's a dice game. Anyway. When I put out a website, I'm going to write up my strategy for craps. I will write you the rules for CeeLo. I've never gambled in an alley. Well, clearly I have. Anyway, thank you everybody for joining. Really appreciate it. I'll be back in 2 hours with Tanner. If you found this entertaining, please like and subscribe to the channel. I'll be back tomorrow to keep everybody company while the markets are not open for a little bit during your work day, and we'll go from there. Thank you very much, everybody. Really appreciate it. I'll see everybody in 2 hours. Thank you.